Hey guys, S to the O here, and today we're going to be talking on another topic other than we usually do. We're going to be doing a theory today on the Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, more specifically. So, initially, we don't really know where in that game Link comes from. It's very unspecified. They say he's a Hyrulean, but today I'm gonna be talking about how I believe that Link is actually from Termina. So let's get in. I know before you click away from this video, just hear me out, okay? I don't have so much evidence, but it just if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. I don't have so much to support it, but just listen to me, okay? So initially, what we know is that um, what's her name? Link's mother came to the Deku Tree during the Hyrulean War and, gave him her baby, Link. So we know that. But what if they came from the Lost Woods? From the Lost Woods to the Deku Tree. Instead of just coming in, okay? So we all know that in Termina, the portal to get to Hyrule is in the Lost Woods. It's just it's in the Lost Woods. So if you want to get to Hyrule, you essentially go to where the sewer place in Termina is. I guess not really sewer place. Well, yeah, sewer place. And but if you want to get to Termina from Hyrule, you gotta go through the Lost Woods, and then you get transported there. Yeah, we know that. So what if what happened was that something long ago happened with the Giants or something was going on wrong in Termina, okay? And so this young young mother with a child in her arms just goes and runs and tries to hide and then decides to go to Hyrule, seeming it's safe for the baby in them. So she goes there and she's in the Lost Woods and she ends up finding the Deku Tree and then asks him if he could take the child and her. But in my case, I would say that the Deku Tree didn't take her, but decided to take the child, so it could raise him as a Kokiri. So I know what you're thinking; it's a bit odd, but just listen. So I mean, when we went to Termina and Majora's Mask, we see that they have doppelgangers. Okay, they've got a bunch of doppelgangers. Pretty much everyone in Hyrule except like Zelda and whatever. So I'm thinking, if Link was in Termina, Link came from Termina, then who's his doppelganger in Hyrule? But isn't that obvious? Isn't it just Dark Link? Okay? Think about that. I mean, now you might be saying, well, if Dark Link came from Termina, but I feel like we have more evidence supporting that Dark Link is from Hyrule, considering the fact we don't see him that much anywhere, except in the Water Temple. So, Link is from Termina, then Dark Link is from Hyrule, raised up during the Hyrulean War and learned how to hate, and then came and then, made a deal with Ganondorf, something. Who knows what he did? Now he worked for Ganondorf, and then, Link is going on this Hyrulean adventure even though he's not Hyrulean. If you think about it, it's possible. I mean, why would Nintendo introduce us to Termina without having much of a purpose? I mean, sure, it's like one of my favorite games, but why? Why would Nintendo do this? And so, my theory is that Link is from Termina. It only makes sense. We see him go to Termina. It's not like I mean, he's home when he gets back to Termina. It's kind of obvious. I mean, I'm sure the Happy Mask salesman literally just goes between Termina and Hyrule whenever he wants to. He knows where the portal is. And so, why not Link be able to do that? I mean, think about it. His father probably ended up dying somewhere in Termina while trying to save his wife and son while they escaped, and then the son got to the Deku Tree, but the mother couldn't stay with the Deku Tree and the son, so she went back to the forest and ended up dying in the forest because something must have happened. I don't know. Maybe she got lost and she just died. You know, it kind of, if you just plain on, just look at it and think about it, it makes so much sense. I know what you might be saying about this, like, are you okay? Like, the sword literally came to Hyruleans. Well, not necessarily. I mean, and we see in Skyward Sword, they're not really Hyruleans yet, are they? So it's just something to think about, you know? I don't have much evidence, but it just comes together. Okay? It comes together as something where it makes sense. And that's what I gotta say. Link is from Termina. Dark Link is from Hyrule. Probably born in the shadow. I mean, we never really see Link's parents. I wonder why. Nobody really talks about them at all. And well, Link is the hero, and then what do you expect? Like you go to Twilight Princess, where it comes back in the same area. I mean, he's. I mean, well, this is more of a theory, but I kind of believe in it. Where he's the whatever the skull guy. I forgot what his name was, but how you would kind of make sense because the Hyruleans, they're not dark. They're actually light, pretty much. They're considered light in the sense of pretty much every game, they're the light ones, while the dark is somewhere else. And well, Termina is pretty much the dark in that sense. So he obviously ends up turning into someone dark, but yet he's a good person. That's why it. That's one of the parts that makes no sense to people. But if you plain on think about it, it adds up. It adds up to what you're saying. It adds up to all of this. It makes sense. You guys might not see it now, but thinking about Link is from Termina. I mean, we never see Link's doppelganger, do we? We never do. That's one of the big points. Obviously, he must have been the doppelganger. I mean, Dark Link, we don't have much evidence towards him compared to Link. Okay? We don't have much evidence at all, actually. Because Dark Link obviously came from a dark past. Probably ended up making a deal with King of Evil, which makes sense. He probably raised him or something. Who knows? He came out of the shadows. He's evil. Which might towards you like, okay, evil with evil. Termina with evil, I said earlier, but there's a reason why Link came to Hyrule. There's a reason why he became a Kokiri. Not just because the the woman wanted to help the child, or his mom, but because there's something going on in Termina. I mean, that Great Hyrulean War, we know that. It shouldn't have been affecting him, though. I mean, we never see his past. So that's why I come in conclusion that Link is from Termina. Just imagine this. There's a great war going on in Termina, just like there is in Hyrule. A young woman with a son and the father. Well, the son's father. Okay. And the husband. So they're scared that their war is gonna affect them because Clocktown is the main place of everywhere. It's in the center. They get scared. Okay, the bad guys, they're coming after them. So the only way they understand to really get out of Termina, to get out of this war, is to escape to Hyrule. So they all go to the entrance to Hyrule. They through the sewers, through everywhere. And then suddenly one of the enemies come, and then the only way to protect the mother and child is for the father to go and protect them. So the father ends up going, and well, yeah, he ends up dying protecting them. And so the mother and child make it through the entrance. Then they go through the Lost Woods, not thinking of what they're going to do next, and they end up finding the Great Deku Tree. The Great Deku Tree is just there on his big stump waiting for something to happen. And well, the mother and child, they go. The mother asks the Great Deku Tree if they could stay there with him. The Great Deku Tree says that you can't stay there because to the mother that she can't stay there because it consists of pretty much old children. They don't grow up, so you're gonna be out of place, and I'm not gonna let you be there. So she's like, okay, well, take my child. He's like, I don't know, and then she pleads on him to take her child, and eventually he accepts and puts him in the house and cares for him until the day where he starts to become older and shows him that he's a Hyrulean, so he wouldn't go to the dark past of being a Terminian or whatever they're called. So he wouldn't know he's from Termina to protect him from the truth that's going on in Termina. Meanwhile, while that's happening, Dark Link was probably born somewhere in Hyrule Castle. His parents probably ended up dying through the war, so he was all alone. And then so after a little bit after the war started, Ganondorf, he came and found the child, and he took him in to Gerudo Town and cared for the child. He cared for him, he fed him food. It was like his own child, pretty much. And well, after that, he became his servant, and then he ended up helping him to fight off the war in Hyrule. And well, then they ended up being evil, and then that happens. But I'm thinking that the mother from Link probably actually, told the Deku Tree that, hey, I don't want this kid to come back to Termina. It's horrible there. Don't make sure he doesn't come back. Don't tell him anything about his past. Lie to him and say that he's from whatever this place is called Hyrule. Pretend he's a Hyrulean, so he wouldn't come back and see his dark past. And so it did so. And the woman ended up dying in the forest, trying to find a way home. Anyways, guys, that's what I've got to say on this. Honestly, it might not make sense to you, but it makes sense to me, and it'll end up making sense to you if you think about it. If you have any questions about this theory, or if you just want to know more, or you're gonna ask me, add something more to the evidence that's going towards this, please comment below. Subscribe if you really like this. More theories are gonna end up coming. But anyways, thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.